I grew up in a council estate in Scotland where people didn't go to university. In fact, my sister and I went round about the same time. We were the first members of our family ever to go. It was tremendously difficult for my parents because I had a job in a bank, which they were so delighted about. Bank of Scotland, very prestigious. And when I decided that I wanted to go to university, they had no idea what university life was like. So that was a bit traumatic for them. And then, of course, I suggested that I wanted to study engineering, and being a girl, that was it was a huge shock. But I'm very lucky that they actually supported me through that. So I ended up going to university, although it was difficult because funding wasn't really very available. So I ended up working pretty much full time during term time and the summers to pay for my living expenses and put myself through university. I don't know if you've heard of imposter syndrome. It's something that I became aware of several years ago. That says that you feel like you're not good enough, and you feel that you're going to get found out one day. And I would say it's something that I've suffered from plenty times in my career. It hasn't helped when I've gone to jobs that, and every single job I've ever had since graduating, someone has said to me, "Oh, you only got that job because you're a woman." Hasn't been helpful in overcoming this imposter syndrome and not thinking that you're good enough. But it might be because I'm not from the right background, or because I'm female, or because I'm a single parent, or because I'm divorced. All of the different labels that we carry in life can sometimes mean that you're not part of the normal. And even sometimes your personality. I came from super aggressive companies into BP, which is very consensus driven. And even sometimes that was enough to make me feel like I didn't fit in. But certainly imposter syndrome is something that has affected me, and not feeling that I was good enough to do the roles that I was given. And it's interesting because the more you talk about imposter syndrome, the more you realize how many people that actually affects. Men and women all over the world have the same thing, and it's actually quite healthy to talk about those feelings because you start to hear people like me say it, then it's okay to not feel okay about things. There are so many positive role models to look to help from in the industry, and I've benefited from many female and male role models in my career. And I just say take the risk. Because back to that imposter syndrome, none of us go into anything, I feel, um, ready to take on the challenges that we might expect, and actually just taking that risk, and addressing those challenges, and just having some fun with it, having a support network if you do struggle in terms of mentorship. I would say absolutely go for it. If you could have the kind of past 2 decades that I have had out of a career, you will have a very, very, very nice future ahead of you, and a real ability to impact yourself, your family, and the environment. So don't think about it; just leap in and take that challenge head on, and know you'll absolutely love a career in engineering.